A very good evening, one and all of you. We from the Department of Social Work, Pondicherry University, in collaboration with Fairtrade Towns, organizes orientation for Fairtrade universities for faculty, staff, scholars, students through virtual mode as part of its outreach program 2021-2022 on 16th November 2021, Tuesday this evening. With these few words, I hand over now to Professor R. Nalini, Head Department of Social Work, Pondicherry University, to deliver the welcome address. On to you, Professor Nalini.
Thank you very much, Professor Shahin. Very pleasant evening to all the delegates and all the students and faculty members who have joined from the Department of Social Work for this community outreach program, which we are doing in collaboration with Fairtrade organization. And it's a pleasure for me to introduce and welcome Ms. Anjata Sikdar. She's going to talk to us about Fairtrade, and she's a developmental professional with over 16 years of experience in environmental education. At Fairtrade India, Ms. Ajanta heads program, partnership, and policy, and is based out of Delhi. Before joining Fairtrade India in 2019, Ajanta was associated with organizations like Center for Science and Environment, which is a very prestigious organization, and Mobile Creches and Center for Environment Education. Ajanta has experience in managing environment and sustainability education program. And along with Ajanta, we have also with us Ms. Anjali Schiavina. She's a national coordinator for Fairtrade Towns based out of Pondicherry. So a warm welcome to you, Ajanta and Anjali. And I'm very happy to welcome you once again to the Department of Social Work. We have been working together for many years now, and it's a pleasure to again offer you this platform to talk to the students, both the first year MSW students, second year MSW students, our faculty members, Professor K. Devin, Dr. Anbu, Dr. Satish, Dr. Shankar, Dr. Iftikhar Alam, and of course Dr. Professor Shahin Sultana, who is the coordinator of community outreach, and all the other research scholars who are here to understand fair trade. Though we all know that fair trade is very closely related to SDGs, and it's talking about responsible consumerism and its approach to farmers and workers to have more control over their lives and decide how to invest in their future. So we know it's a global movement, and how we are supporting challenges, businesses and governments are connecting farmers and workers with people who buy their products. So we know that as social workers, we have to choose fair trade because we can create change through their everyday actions, being with the farmers and also promoting responsible consumerism amongst everybody else. So that ways, we are very very eager to listen to you, and we once again warmly welcome you and both Ajanta, Anjali, and all the members of the fair trade whom you are representing, especially the most important stakeholders of fair trade towns, that is the farmers. So a very warm welcome, and over to you. Thank you. Over to Shahin now.
Thank you, ma'am, for your welcome address. At the Department of Social Work, we invest our time and energies in integrating theory and practice because our scholars, students, faculty, staff, all of us look forward to practitioners who would meet us, rather have an interface to share their practice, which will enrich our knowledge and expertise in the coming years ahead. So in this direction, we are very happy to have with us Ms. Anjata Sikdar, who's the Education Program Lead, Fairtrade India project, who's going to deliver the special address on Fairtrade universities and its scope and practice. On to you, Ms. Anjata Sikdar.
First of all, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity, Shine ma'am, and thank you so much for organizing this, Anjali, as part of Towns Movement. Great event when it comes to universities, during the Fairtrade Town Week. Thank you so much for coming and giving us time, Professor Nalini. I am, as you all just heard, I'm part of the programs team at Fairtrade India, and we have a beautiful program called Campus Program, Fairtrade India Campus Program, and I'm here to tell you more about it. I'll just speak for 10 to 15 minutes whenever I finish my presentation, and then there will be a next session. So yes, can I request for the presentation? Okay, can we go to the slide second? Okay, so fair trade, as the name suggests, it's very simple to understand. We are demanding fair trade to be fair, right? But what is fair trade? Fair trade is a simple, powerful way through which each one of us can make a difference through our everyday choices. From morning to evening, we make many choices, right? Like we want to brush our teeth, which toothpaste to use. I want to have breakfast, what breakfast do I want to use, right? So it is a simple, powerful way to make a difference with each of these of our choices. It is about fairer terms of trade for farmers and workers, and greater care for environment, decent working conditions, and local sustainability. So these are the four main pillars for which fair trade works. Now in this slide, you also see there is a mark, right? You see a cross, a square, and there is a man raising his hand. That is the fair trade mark. And what is fair trade mark? Fair trade mark is the world's most recognized ethical label. If you see this mark on any product, you know that this product is a fair trade certified product, right? Now, but what does fair trade means? So, as the first thing suggests, under fair trade, with fair trade, the farmers receive a fair and a stable price for their produce. So what fair trade does is fair trade works with small holding farmers. They bring them together, they form a farmers producer group, and then this group together, gets associated with farmer. Now under fair trade, what is the two most important aspect is the stable price, is the minimum market price. So when fair trade farmers work, right, they know for sure that whatever they're producing, there is a minimum market price that they will receive, when they will hand over their produce to the businesses or to the brands. So that is an assurance which works very well when the market is in crisis. When the market is in good shape, there are greater prices, they will definitely receive that. But when it comes to a crisis situation, this is what helps the farmers. And the second most important thing about fair trade is the premium. So as a group, they receive a premium, and that premium can be invested for improving their communities and the businesses. So when the farmer producer groups hand over their product to the businesses, in return, along with the payment, they also, the fairer price, they also receive a small premium, which they can use for, let's say, if it's a rain scarce area, they can go for a rainwater harvesting system so that they can have enough water next season. So all these things that we can discuss later. And greater respect for environment, planet and people. Why? Because there are certain standards that this they have to maintain, like no hard chemical or hazardous chemical use, right? They have to use Indian species crops. They cannot have child labor on the farm. So there are very certain strict and criterias which they have to follow, which in return takes care of the planet. uh, Fourth being, the small farmers have a stronger position in the world market, right? Because they understand, under fair trade, they also are trained and capacity built to do climate resilient agricultural practices, climate change uh, resilient agriculture practices. And then it is a very closer link between the shoppers and the producers, because when I see this label, I can track it back, that from where my this product is coming. So that's a closer link between the farmers and the shoppers, that is for farmers and for between me or you. as consumers. Can we go to the second slide, please? So this is all about fair trade, and these are very impressive facts, about fair trade that there are more than 1,800 fair trade towns in 28 countries. It is world's most recognized ethical label, right? And then we are 1.7 million farmers and workers in 73 countries. So this is the network that, fair trade has. And it's an international movement, right? It was started by people, and 50% of the stake is with the farmers in this movement. And what are we trying to do? We are trying to tackle poverty, and we are trying to achieve environmental sustainability through trade, fair trade and not aid, right? So that is the main aim of the movement. Can we go to the next slide, please? These are some of the events, that happen during the Fair Trade Week. You can see how the communities comes together. Next slide, please. Okay, now let us talk more about the steps of Fair Trade India campus program, right? If Pondicherry University Social Work Department wants to be part of the program, what are the simple steps? It is very simple and very achievable. The first thing, you register for the program, which is a prerequisite, right? And then you are part of the program, you're part of the global network. Step one, like any other program, right? You need a team, you need a sustainability team which will be the backbone of the program. Second step, you organize few awareness activities, for awareness and visibility. It can be anything, it can be debate, it can be elocution, or let's say if you have a sports day in your university, there can be a nice corner booth, organized, which will have good posters or placards put there, and it's an awareness corner. Whoever wants to come see, they can come and see, read, and know about fair trade. So small awareness activities related to the program. Third step is the most important, is campaign for sustainability. And once I finish this slide, we will actually delve deeper into this topic. Step number 4 is you have to experience a switch, similar to schools program also. See, the educational institutions are the learning laboratories, right? You experience everything that you will experience as a global citizen, right? When you step out of this educational institutions and start working, start being part of the economy, right? So similarly, you will have to do a small switch. You will have to experience that how it is to switch from any normal product to a ethical, fair product. So it can be anything. Let's say your department decides that let's have a fair football match. So you can switch to fair trade football, buy one, play with it, and see the difference. A switch is required, right? Slowly and steadily, you will have to understand what are the different procurement which is done in the university level or at the department level, and what are the fair ethical alternatives available with fair trade or with any other thing, right? And then you have to switch to that slowly and steadily, systematically. And the fifth and the most important step is, when you do all this awareness activities, you complete your campaign, you do the switch, you apply for a recognition, you get recognized, right? You get a designation of fair trade campus, and then you also submit your renewal plan for the next year. Because sustainability is not about doing one token activity in a year. It's not like कि आज we will clean up my house, or I'll clean up the yard, I'll plant one tree and then I'll not look at it, right? It is about repeating again and again. We will have more slides. Can we go to the week slides, please? The campaign slides. Yes. No, before this. Yeah. So these are the steps, and now go to the next slide, where we have mentioned the activities. I am unable to see the next slide. Yeah. Okay. As in campus, let us also understand that what is the objective of doing this program. See, Fairtrade India does many programs, right? And the sole purpose of the program is to popularize fair trade, is to popularize this movement and what it actually means, and how, as a member of this movement, you can contribute to, right? So the first objective of the campus program is to get this organization committed to the fair trade movement. So you all become part of the movement, right? And then you understand that how the trade and our food system work, right? You have to understand that how, if I'm consuming one chocolate today, how it is part of the whole system. There is a whole value chain or the supply chain which works for that chocolate to get the chocolate in my hand. So we need to understand that how our food system works and how I can contribute to make it fairer, which is to at this time it is most part of it is very exploitative, right? The trade is exploitative. How I can contribute to make it fairer. Third most important objective is to raise awareness. Now, you as a fair trade committee members or part of social work department, it will be your responsibility to make other members, other department aware about this. So you will have to do more awareness activities. So these are the few objectives of campus movement. Now coming to Fair Trade Week that we are here all for. Now what is Fair Trade Week? As we shared that step number 3 for the campus program is doing campaign. Now why we do campaign? We do campaign because the people who are part of the movement, right, they build their voices. We want to develop their interpersonal skills, to be part of this movement, and through campaign we do that. So uh, every year Fairtrade India celebrates, nationwide. They celebrate fair trade, and fair trade week is an opportunity to celebrate fair trade in your maybe university, department, institutions, your locality, your family, everywhere, right? And this year the fair trade week is organized from 15 to 21st of November, which started this Monday and it will end till next Sunday, the coming Sunday. Yeah, next slide please. And the whole movement, the campaign is about the sustainable movement. I want you to go to the last slide which is shown. uh, any one of you recognize where this photo was taken? Yes, you are right. It is actually your faculty, right? Your department, and you can see the faculty members also here. You can see Anjali also. So Pondicherry University Social Work Department is not new to this program. You have been part of this great movement since many years, and Anjali will tell you more about it, right? Yes, we can move next. Next slide, please. Next. Yeah, so these are the kind of events, we do for during the Fair Trade Week. The first picture that you are seeing is a factory, which is Fair Trade certified factory, and how they celebrate, they come together, they do awareness activities, they have maybe a cup of chai, everyone having together. The second picture that you are seeing is from Amity Institute of Public Health, Amity University. They did an awareness activity during the Fair Trade Week by putting up the posters. Forza Goa Foundation, they are very strongly committed to fair trade certified footballs, and they regularly conduct matches. It is not only during Fair Trade Week, right? Then you will see in the workplaces, they play puzzle, they find the mark, right? There are great questions, they take pledge and everything. But at individual level also, like here you can see a group of women sitting together, having a get together, enjoying fair trade certified chicky, having fair trade certified tea. Next slide, please. And this is some of the media coverage, when you celebrate or when towns come together, or when a great activity is done by school, or something great is done by the businesses, a new product which comes in. So we have this media generated for wider dissemination of this information. Next slide, please. So, Fairtrade Week campaign 2021, right? It's the future. We believe that future is a joint venture, and we all, you are the youth, we are the older generations, but we all have to work together. Why? Because we have to take back the future the way it was supposed to be, right? And the hashtag is "It's Your Turn." And it's never too late, to work for the future, and everything is possible. We strongly believe that. Next slide, please. So take back the future is the campaign. We all are in the pandemic situation. We do understand that till 2019 we did this campaign face to face. There were in person events organized, but we do understand the situation now, and that's the reason we have decided that from now on we will have digital events also. So 80% of the event activities are actually online, and 20% of the activities can be done offline also, which is in person. The best place to find all the information is the microsite that we have for the week, which is week.fairtradeindia.org. If you are interested to see which events you want to attend, you go to event section and see the calendar and participate in that event. But if you also want to do your own event, then you can register your event and share details. And if it is open for people to come and attend, they will come and attend. Or it is just a information sharing that you're doing something with Fairtrade during the Fairtrade week. Next slide, please. So this is very fun activity, and we all want to see how Anjali is smiling, right? It is the twister, and I am not able to do, but I know as youth, you will be able to do, and you can crack any difficult thing. So this is the twister that we want everybody to do, and post it on your social media. And do not forget to tag Fairtrade Towns, your own university, and lastly, fairtrade.india. Okay, so tag us, tell us what you're doing, and it is just care for fair, cause it's fair to care for future that's there. You have to say this 3 times, right? And you are there, you are doing the activity. So this is the twister that we want you to do. And the next one, and then we also want you to take the pledge. And this is a great way to start being part of the movement, to committing to giving your commitment to the movement is by taking pledge. It is simple. Log on to the microsite, click come on the pledge page, and just give your name, a reason why you're joining the movement, and just submit it. And again, after submitting, how will we come to know? You have to tag us on your social media, right? So again, tag Towns, your university, and Fairtrade India. And then ask your friends to also do the same. Ask your family members to pledge with you. Or it can be fantastic idea. It can be the whole department pledge altogether. And I know Shaheen ma'am has a big plan for this. So I know she'll be doing great stuff for pledge. Next slide, please. Yeah. So now we are also saying that, Fridays are the new fair days. So what we want you to do, whenever you do any activity related to fair trade, you're doing awareness, you're doing any implementation or consumption. Let's say you are organizing a great dinner, cooking with fair trade ingredients. Do all this activity during the week and post it on a Friday. And tag us, tag everybody, and use the hashtag Fair Day, and share with, like, Fridays are for future, so let's also celebrate Fridays as a fair day. So this is the fourth thing that we want to do. Next slide, please. Yes, and thank you so much for hearing me out. And yeah, Shaheen ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Ajanta. It was nice to hear about the activities which is being planned and organized in several parts of the country. It is an eye-opener for our students and scholars also to know more about fair trade, and I'm sure they're going to come up with a lot of questions on how to carry it forward. So I now request the student scholars in the group to post your queries in the chat box. So based on that, Ms. Ajanta will be able to respond to each one at a time. Yes, now the session is open. Ms. Ajanta, if you can you just show a demo also of how they do it and post it on the Facebook? So if you have any video clippings or anything about that, or if you could detail about just a model slide or something so that, they understand and probably they can come up also with that. I think these days students are very much, well versed with social media and all. Yeah. Ajanta, ma'am, can you share screen at the bottom? Ma'am, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, and questions have started coming, ma'am.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. So there's
Yeah.
a question. Yeah, there's a question from Professor Ali. Does the Fair Trade Week fall on the same dates every year?
See, ideally it should, and Fairtrade India was actually launched in started in November, so we try to do it in the month of November. But then we also understand that there are exam sessions, schools are busy, universities are busy. So every year we actually ask our stakeholders, what will be the best time, but we usually try to do it post Diwali in the month of November. But no, it is not always the same dates. It can be the second week of November, sometimes third or sometimes fourth. Once
Okay.
we even did it in December because there were no dates available. So
Yeah. There's another question from Dr. P.B. Shankar Narayan. Why many of the corporates haven't registered under Fair Trade?
as a business or as a workplace, you're saying? So the Fairtrade Workplace Program is now launched this year. We it takes time. Though the programs are global, even the university program has a global network. The schools program is a global network. Workplace program is a global network. But then you cannot adopt the program as it is, right? You need to adapt it to Indian situation. So we took a little bit of time on that, but now the Fairtrade Workplace Program is launched, and we would invite all the workplaces to join the program, and we are here to help to implement whatever you all plan. So
Okay.
slowly and steadily, for example, like in 2013 we started the schools program. We piloted with 5 schools, and then we started the scaling up only in 2019, and in 2021 we now have 20 schools in India who are under Fair Trade Schools program. So for same happened with the universities also. As Nalini ma'am would know and Anjali would know, that we were doing small activities with the universities. And then, yes, Anjali, please.
When this question about why many of the corporates haven't registered, just so that I can share with all of you, for example, we have, Indian Terrain is a very well-known brand in India, and they have committed to a fair trade collection since last year. We have Twin Birds, again a brand that has committed to fair trade. We have Soul Space, which is a yoga wear brand that has committed to fair trade. We have
No
Ecolink,
nasties.
which is again a sustainable brand for men's shirts as well as kids and women's wear. We have Valencia, which is a very big socks company, which has now committed to fair trade. And similarly, we have other brands which are more linked to food, like True Bio, which is doing spices and herbs. We have Pescati Chocolate that is doing cocoa and chocolate. We have tea brands like Otu Tea, Marakabi Tea, and then we have the coffee. So there are slowly more and more brands and corporates committing to the fair trade values and to the fair trade certification. It's a slow process because it is a very thorough and it has to be a very authentic process. So therefore, it is not something that is extremely common, but definitely now, if the citizens ask for it, if the consumers ask for it, then brands will have to make the shift as well. So that's why it's a two-way process where brands need to work towards becoming sustainable and having an ethical supply chain, and the consumer needs to demand it. So that's the space when we have campaigns, is to create the awareness actually with consumers, then who can ask for something that is from an ethical supply chain.
And also, Mr. Shankar Narayan, Professor Shankar Narayan, you can visit week.fairtradeindia slash brands page, and you will see the 8 categories there: spices, chocolate, beverages, um,
Bring up the name.
cotton, fashion, and all the brands are listed there which are Fairtrade certified. You might not know you are eating Fairtrade certified chicky, but you don't see the label there. You might be drinking one of the Fairtrade certified coffee, but you don't know. Check the label, right? So it's very popular in southern India. But yeah, all the brands are listed there, and as part of the commitment, if you are asking, it's the brands are there. Uh,
Nobody else has asked questions, huh?
Yeah. Ma'am, a couple of questions also came up in between our conversations when we were coordinating this program. So before that, I'll just read out Shreya Patnaik's question. May I know which social media platforms Fairtrade India is currently active in?
so
Type it
I'll
out. Maybe you can type out the social media handle page.
social media handle page, Shreya, we are on all the social media platform. If you search by Fairtrade India, you will get our pages. Even Fairtrade Town is on all the social media, so you can just, we are on Fairtrade India is on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on LinkedIn, and we are also on YouTube. We are also on Instagram. Our Instagram is actually very active, which is fairtrade.india. You just search for it and you will get it.
Okay. The other two questions which they were asking is part of the deliberations of when we were coordinating this program. Why is it called Fair Trade One? And also because we have the first years now recently joined. Can you just spell out the administrative hierarchy, like the structure from where are the headquarters or the secretariat, and how is it distributed across the country? So can you throw light more on that also?
Can you just repeat what is the Fairtrade's hierarchy?
Yeah, administrative structure, right? Administrative
Administrative
structure.
structure.
Yeah.
So that was, yeah. So Fairtrade is a network of non-profit organizations, right? It's a movement. We call it as a movement, and which includes Fairtrade International as the nodal organization, the main organization. And Fairtrade International as a nodal organization is based in Bonn, Germany, right? And it has 20 national fair trade organizations under them, and they have 3 producer networks as its member. So there is one like Southern America based network, there is one Asia based network, and there is one uh, mm, Northern America based network, producers network. There are 3 main producers network also. Like I said, 50% of the movement is actually run by the producer groups. And the whole Fairtrade system also includes FlowCert, which is an independent certification body with the global system. So all the certification work is done by FlowCert, right? Certifying the product, certifying the producers, certifying the businesses, it's done. And we are part of the Fairtrade Foundation. What is the role of Fairtrade Foundation? We popularize Fairtrade. Like I mentioned, that there are 20 national fair trade organizations. So in every country, fair trade is represented by an organization of that country. So in India, Center for Social Market runs the Fair Trade India movement or the project. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Janta. There's one more question. Why is you work with the schools and you work with the higher education institutions also. So how do you
Yes.
link yourself to the communities? So because these are structures, these are structure schools and higher educations. But how is your liaising with the communities? How do you, identify? How do you work on that?
She's on mute. Ajanta is on mute.
I don't know how I go on mute, but I'm sorry for that because I'm not using my hand. Anyways, so ma'am, to answer your questions, we have schools program, we have university campus program, which is for university. We have workplace program, and then we also want to do some of the collaboration work, or we want to work with the government also. But the main program through which we work and get in touch with the consumers or the society is the towns movement. Towns movement is actually an umbrella movement, right, which brings the school, universities, businesses, manufacturing units, and the people together. So I think Anjali is the best person to talk more about towns. But yeah, under the towns movement, we do this. Anjali, do you want to add to it?
So, thank you very much for this question, because it's a very important question. All the while, we have been working as independent bodies, like, workplaces are working independently, the schools independently, universities independently, but there is a need where all stakeholders have to come in together and work together, because it is about creating awareness, whether it is creating awareness for the eventual product, or it is creating awareness for ethical supply chains. So the town plays actually this role. And today in the world globally, there are about 2,024 towns that have been working towards becoming fair trade towns. And there the involvement is not only about the institutions or about, but it is bringing in together coffee shops, restaurants, retailers. It's bringing in also together government authorities, so that, there is a move towards bringing policy in place, where there is a public procurement policy that comes in place, where it's a more sustainable procurement policy. So yes, it is, towns play this role of creating multi-stakeholders to come together to work on fair trade terms. So yeah.
And I would just like to add here also that through each and every program, we are actually trying to reach the common people, and the citizens of the country. Uh, for example, when you bring a child from school, or let's say youth from the college, and they join the movement, actually they are also making their families join the movement, because they will take that message to their households, right? And then different household comes. So yeah, through the programs, it is first the stakeholder, then the students, and then their family. But Fairtrade Towns directly works with the families, with citizens.
Yeah.
Okay, that was
Another thing is, if I may just add, presently we are working since 2015, when the movement came to India. The Fairtrade Towns movement came to India in 2015, and presently we have Pondicherry, Auroville, the Nilgiris. In the Nilgiris, we have three towns. We have Kotagiri, we have Kunur, and we have Uti. We have Goa, we have Ludhiana, and we are now working with Chennai. So this is a movement that is slowly growing, and these are the various towns now that are working towards becoming fair trade towns. So when we are organizing a fair trade week, a campaign, they all participate in their way into the campaigns that we organize during the year. Fair trade week being one of our largest campaigns for the moment.
okay. Thank you, ma'am. That was the next question which the students were asking. Apart from the activities, which they have to do and post it on the social media, what exactly is the role of the youth which you're expecting today as part of outreach program? So, as rightly said by Ms. Ajanta, that when you involve the youth, you involve their families as well. Ma'am, there's another question also. We've had programs like initiatives like Gandhi Fellowship and all these people approaching our department and taking up for placements, for internships, even for fellowships. So, do you, as an entity, have anything like that to offer for the students where they can come seek internship, learn more about, because this is just a 1 hour outreach activity, but to take it forward, whether they can engage, get engaged with you for such programs like extension activities or block placement activities, something like that. If so, what is available from your side?
And ma'am, your first question was about?
Like Gandhi Fellowship, when they approached us, they came, saying that they can offer some fellowships,
Okay.
some placement opportunities where the students can get involved with them and learn more about it, and spread it across. So anything like that you have for our students to offer, so that they can get associated or collaborated with you if you're interested.
Definitely, ma'am. We are looking, towards a network of youth volunteers. So we can work towards that, how the university wants to work. Students can write dissertations on such topics. We are happy to help. We can be part of that research. We can help them with that. They can help us with their research analysis and all. So these are small things which can definitely be done. For example, like we will be getting very soon associated with Jindal Global's business school here in Sonipat. So they are looking for sessions under their business entrepreneurship classes, where we will be doing sessions for the students. Then there is TIS. We are also getting associated with TIS University, and then they are looking for some thesis topic and all. But yes, we do want to develop a youth volunteer network, and we can talk about it. What are the facilities which university can give, and how they want us to be part of it? It can be discussed, and it can be, we don't have anything called internship, but yeah, few interns, if they're interested or they're researching on fair trade, they do come to you, they work with us for some time. But we don't have such a program. But yes, something can be worked out at the institution level, what the university wants, and we can sit and we can talk about it. But we want a network. Yeah, yeah, Anjali, please.
We can't hear you, ma'am.
Yeah. So the other thing that we have done in the past is, from Azim Premji's University, from development studies, we've had students who have come and interned with us in Pondicherry, where they, help learn about campaigns and see how they can get more and more involved in campaigns. Some have also helped in policy making, helping out in the policy. So there are areas where, we want to create more and more programs. So in, helping us write the programs, because whatever said and done, the students do understand grassroots. So they will be able to contribute in the writing of programs, in helping forming the policies, as well as understanding how to create campaigns which have to be adapted to the Indian situation. So yes,
Correct.
definitely we are very, very open to students coming and interning with us on these various levels.
Okay. Thank you. What happens, which is a few benefit to the audience here, we have a combo of students and scholars in this group. That is, we have scholars now who are in the last year or the third year who are going to get into the job market, one category. We have second year students who are very soon, also going to go back into the job market. And we have the first year students also who are just fresh. In fact, the second year students, we have a combination of three specializations. So, one, which is human resource management, the second one, community development, and the third one, medical and psychiatric social work practice. So, as a novice who wants to get associated with this fair trade movement, what kind of career opportunities do you foresee, ma'am? Can you guide them on that? Because we are just introducing this concept into, into our department. Of course, we have been working earlier, but this group is a new group. So what kind of career opportunities can they look forward, if, because you said this movement is just picking up in some of the states, so might be, because we have a composite mix of students from across the country, in what way can they take it up as a career, and then, also intensify if they're interested to take or be part of this movement? Thank you.
So this is a very interesting space that you have brought up this topic. So if you see, when I was speaking about brands, about that are now getting into the market. When we speak about fair trade, HR plays a very, very important role within these companies and organizations. Because it is not a conventional HR where things are done in a particular way. Here, things are done with a certain parameters that are well defined. So understanding fair trade and seeing how that can be then implemented within organizations or companies or factories or brands, which are now, there are a lot of, we have mentioned only a few brands that are fair trade certified, but behind that there is an entire supply chain of factories and all which are fair trade certified as well, which that is where I see a very, very important space where students from your department who are coming from social work department, who are looking at getting into HR departments and all, can play a very, very important role going forward. That is one area. The second area is, whatever said and done, there are two aspects. One is the brand, which is the front end. The other is the back end, which is the producers. Now, when we are talking about producers, we are all talking about sustainability. We are all talking about livelihood. We are all talking about gender equality. So these are things, when you're also working with producer companies, if the students are exposed to these ideas, these thoughts, and taught in more depth about what it means, then I think there is a huge opportunity for them, even in the livelihood sector or else in the HR. These are two areas where I see students really coming in with innovative ways, as well as alternate ways of bringing, policies into the workplaces. Ajanta, if you would like to add something.
You have already summed it up, Anjali. But then, just a line that, ma'am, in India, fair trade works on Sustainable Development Goal number 12, which is responsible consumption and production. So when the students are exposed on such a topic, they are not only contributing to that goal number 12, but indirectly they're also learning, and if they're implementing or being part of the movement, they're also contributing towards 9 other goals. So when you become part of the movement, you are actually learning about 10 sustainable development goals, and how these goals can be taken forward in your career. So whatever career, like Anjali said, you opt, when you are trained for sustainability, when you're trained for consumption, responsible consumption and production, you can infuse it in any career that you're part of or you want to be in. I,
Uh,
I am I'm a home science postgraduate, right? I have done extension and communication. It is very much like social work. But see, now I'm part of fair trade, right?
Okay. Just last two questions, ma'am. Now we've had this orientation. From here, how do we go? Can you give us direction? What are the possible ways? And then, second, for the students and for the scholars, if at all they are interested more to know about this, can you refer us, which is the website or any guidelines or any materials which you can send for us to circulate among the audience who's attending today?
So, ma'am, you all will be very happy. But Professor Nalini ma'am have already started this process, right? So Anjali and Nalini ma'am are working out on that. So it will be registered very soon, when the university works full-fledged, when things are in place, that will happen. But then we can always start working towards awareness activities. There are a list of activities that you can do. This presentation will be handed over to Shaheen ma'am, and then Shaheen ma'am can decide in which subject or where, in which festival you want to be make fair trade part of it, or in which course you want to include fair trade, or do something as a small project, a weekend project or a month long project. So do your awareness activities, be part of this campaign by doing these activities, then you will already complete your step number 3, right, to participate in fair trade campaign. When fashion revolution comes, fair trade fashion revolution comes in April, be part of that and be part of a fashion movement, right? Then again you do your step number 3. So we are always there. Anjali and I are always there. Whatever questions you have, you can always ask us. We will be happy to help. if we can't help you, we will arrange for help, right? So that can be done, but the steps are very clear. You have to do the steps, involve us in your planning if you want to, and then you can take from there. At present you have week website, which is week.fairtradeindia.org. Very soon fairtradeindia.org is also coming up, which will have a section on campus program, and you can refer to that. Till then we can always give you handouts, we will always give you presentations and the resources. And then it's a global network, ma'am. All the resources are available free of cost online, on YouTube, on internet. But we are, Anjali and I, always there.
Okay, so thank you because I spoke. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am, you
Anjali.
want to add something? Yeah,
I
please.
would just request all the viewers who are there to participate in the week campaign that is going on right now from 15 to 21st. And it's a very simple digital way of supporting the campaign. One is through the tongue twister, and the other is by taking the pledge. I think these two would be a really good start for all the viewers here, all the students who are in campus year 1, 2, or 3. Take the pledge for fair trade and have fun with the tongue twister so that we know that you're there and supporting our campaign.
Yeah, so just another last question, ma'am. We spoke about schools, we spoke about institutions, and we also spoke about communities and industries. Any idea about the hospital sector now? Because COVID pandemic and all that, we know so much of consumption is going on, in terms of health services. So any collaboration with that from your side?
I want Anjali to answer, and how, Fairtrade worked with during the COVID also.
So we did a very, very interesting campaign during COVID because we wanted to really celebrate actually the workers, the frontline workers, the doctors, the police and all. So what we did in Pondicherry is we got the citizens because we couldn't all go out. So from their homes, they baked cupcakes with fair trade cocoa. So it was also a way for them to understand they were all free at home, they make cupcakes, and we asked the children to make little cards, or thank you cards. So it was amazing, and the response was in about 1 week, 10 days, we baked a total of 5,020 cakes in Pondicherry, and we distributed it personally to all the health workers, to the police. And we got an amazing response from them saying that, we have been doing this work for more than 70 days and nobody has even recognized us. And so we do feel that whatever said and done, the fair trade movement is a very citizens movement. It is about understanding the other person and having empathy on things that they're doing. And similarly, we also feel like the hospitality industry is a very big industry. Unfortunately, due to COVID, it has had a little bit of a, it's been a little low lying because it has been affected quite drastically. But that is another industry where we do see slowly fair trade commitments coming up. We do have one chain of hotels that has taken the commitment for fair trade in their toiletries. But like that, slowly, we do hope, like, the hospitals also will come in and take commitments. There are some brands that are there in the pipeline who are looking at, who make face mask, and they're looking at becoming a fair trade factory to make fair face masks. So yes, there are steps that are there on the in the pipeline, and I think slowly we'll get there. But it's a very valid point, and I think we'll share with you more once we are on track with the hospitals. Yeah. Nalini,
Yes,
madam.
yes, yes.
Just one last question. Uh, which are the universities in India which are associated with you? Can you just tell us some that?
So, ma'am, because we didn't have a program, a structured program, so we but many universities and departments were associated for Fair Trade Week, some and many for Fair Trade Fashion Revolution Week campaign. So, and to name some would be Shrishti College of Design, Pondicherry University, has also done many awareness activities. Then we will have Amity University. We have now OP Jindal Global University of Business Administration is coming up. TIS, they have given a commitment for all their campuses. If you talk about the private organizations, we are very closely working with NIFT. And we do a session with them regularly. Pearl Academy in fashion, in garment sector, we work very closely with them. But now that we have a structured program to offer, because you all universities are doing such wonderful activities, so we should recognize you. So this designation of Fairtrade campus came up.
Any other questions from faculty or students? Any other questions? Yeah.
But I would like to add, if you ask me globally, I have some data, not accurate, but yes, there are around 12 certified universities in the UK, 2 in New Zealand, 8 in Australia, 31 universities in Germany, 41 universities in Canada. So, and in India, we have PU, TIS, and all this. So let's start a great movement. Let's add universities to it. Youth is very powerful, and let's build their capacity in such a way that they become the voices of change.
I think almost all the questions they've already asked me, so I have also asked on their behalf. So as rightly planned out, we said we will get this done by 1 hour, and as accepted by you and our team also, we are accurate almost on time. So let me just propose the vote of thanks. So I first formally thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor, in fact, who's already spearheading with the head of the department now, moving forward to take this ahead. So thanks to the Vice Chancellor and to the directors and to our Dean also, Professor Monti, who wanted to join, but this season happens to be very busy with recruitments and admission. So however, he's conveyed his blessings to us. And I thank all my faculty colleagues, the head of the department who brought this program also, Professor R. Nalini and Professor K. Devan, Dr. Anbu, Dr. Satish Kumar, Dr. Shankar, Dr. Iftikhar, our office staff, scholars and students who all responded in a very short notice. In fact, when we had this discussion that Ms. Anjali wanted to do, we didn't want to postpone. We thought, okay, we will start with a basic orientation because, apart from classes, it's outreach program which builds, linkages between theory and practice. So students need to know what is happening in the field. We will be teaching from the curriculum, but that blend is required. And we are very happy that one of our alumni, Mr. Natesan, was very instrumental in bringing, Fairtrade to our department. So at this juncture, we really convey our thanks to Mr. Natesan, who started this venture, and then now we are taking it, from a seed to a plant, hopefully to a very, very big, jungle probably in the future. So we thank all our scholars, our second year students, our first year students, our alumni, and everyone and all the members from Fairtrade, Ms. Ajanta, Ms. Anjali, and also all the technical staff from your side and from our side to make this program happen. In fact, we see only this as a beginning. There are more such programs. We are planning to host it in the coming year. And we look forward for your same kind of spirit and enthusiasm in all the programs ahead. And as rightly pointed out by the students, that we look forward to collaborate with you through internships and placements and career opportunities. And with these few words, I thank the head and all our team at the Department of Social Work, Pondicherry University, and all the members at Fairtrade for making this happen. Thanks to our scholars and students for staying and coming up with a lot of questions today at this program. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. Can't hear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now I take this opportunity to thank everyone, especially Professor Shahin Sultana, for this wonderful coordination of this evening's program. And as usual, once she takes up the coordination, I don't have to worry about it. It's totally on her. So thank you, Shahin, for doing such a good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you to our office staff also who just ensure that everything is on space. And we look forward to come back with such programs in the future at the department and at the university level. Thank you. With this week, saying goodbye.
Pledge your support to Fairtrade movement.
Just a reminder to Anjali. Anjali, please post the Google form in the YouTube URL. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.